have a little confession to make. I've struggled most of my life with sticking to my plans, with consistency, with saying that I'm gonna do something and actually sticking to it. And it's one thing that I've used against myself to beat myself up and feel bad about myself, feel like a failure, feel like I'm always sabotaging, feel like I don't have what it takes to stick to my plans, stick to my goals. And it's not easy to be in that situation. It's not easy to be in that position. And I know that maybe you at some point in your life have been in that situation where you feel you're just in a cycle of sabotage and you can't find a way to get out of it. So to me, this topic is fascinating. It's fascinating because it's been such a huge part of my life. And I've been trying to find answers, solutions, ways to work around that part of me that wants to sabotage. So what I want to share with you today, I wrote down some things that I want to make sure that I talk about in these videos so that I can give you a different perspective, different ideas, different tools that you can use, different questions that you can ask yourself to overcome this. What I want to start with is a quote that I've shared with a lot of people. It's a quote by Jerry West, or West, I don't know how to pronounce it, W-E-S-C-H. I said, when you have a big enough dream, you don't need a crisis. Let that sink in. How many of us wait until something bad happens before we take action? How many of us wait for a diagnosis or to get fired from a job or something before we take action towards what's best for us? So that quote resonates with me. When you have a big enough dream, you don't need a crisis. So I want to ask you, what's your why? Why do you want what you want? And go deep. Ask yourself, why do I want this? Because for some of us, for some people it works to say, I just want a shredded body, I want a flat belly, I want tight legs, whatever women want, whatever men want. For some people that works, and for some of us that's too shallow. I'm not judging people that want that. Of course we all want that. First of all, let's be just straight up and say we want that. That's perfectly fine. But I've found with myself, with clients, with friends, family, that if we don't go a little deeper, then it's very easy to give up when life shows up, because life is going to show up, things are going to happen. Obstacles are going to get in the way. To me, it's been a good test of how committed am I to this. How much do I want this? How much do I really want what I say that I want? So why is it that you want it? What's the deeper why? What's your why? So even if you start with, I just want a flat belly, I want a toned body, I want a shredded body. Why? I want to make a lot of money. Why? See what comes up for you. There's no right or wrong answer. It's you, that you're finding your answer. So ask why again. See what comes up for you. Once again, there's no right or wrong answer. Ask why again. And keep going deeper. See what shows up for you. My why won't be the same as your why. And that's the beautiful part. So keep asking. And eventually you might get to an answer that will give you chills, that will energize you, make you smile. You won't be able to help it but to smile. And that's your why. That's the one that for you, it's gonna make you unstoppable. And I'm not saying that it's gonna be easy after that. It's not like you sit down, find that, and that's it. You're set for life. No, life is gonna show up. You're gonna be tested. You're gonna have obstacles. That's gonna happen. But when you have that why, when you have that deep reason of why you want what you want, whew, it's incredible. It's incredible. Because let me ask you this question, right? You're going towards your goal, and something's gonna happen. Life is gonna get busy, something's gonna happen, life is gonna show up, obstacles are gonna show up. Are you more willing to keep going if your why is, I want a six-pack, I want a flat belly, I want a toned body, or if your why is way deeper than that? I want to be alive to enjoy my grandchildren. I want to live to 120 years old to see what this beautiful world will be like in whatever many years are left for you to get to that point. What is it? I want to have the energy to pursue my passion. I want to have the energy to live life to the fullest. That to me excites me more than a six-pack. Way more. I don't know about you, maybe I'm crazy, who knows? But having a deep why is gonna fire you up more than anything you've ever experienced. So I want you to write that answer that gave you chills, that made you smile, that energized you, that just you start to dream with your eyes open. That, I want you to write that on an index card, on many cards, and have them around the house. Carry one with you all the time. You can type it in your phone as your background or whatever. See that all the time so that when life shows up, guess what? That ain't gonna stop you. That's not gonna stop you. You're gonna keep going. When you have that, you carry that with you all the time. Now, you know you have that why, you have that deep reason. Now what I want you to do is write a list of at least 20 benefits that your goal, your dream, your vision, 20 benefits that's gonna give you. At least 20. I was actually gonna say 50 because once I did that exercise and it's really tough to get to 50, but then you start going deeper and you start going wider and realizing like, wow, like this would actually bring me even more than I realized. And that's another list that you can have around your house, in your bedroom, bathroom, whatever. So you get reminders of why you're doing what you're doing when it gets tough. So now that you have those two things, now you have internal inspiration instead of relying on external motivation. I'm not saying motivation is wrong, but if you always rely on people telling you, wow, you're looking better, or wow, your business is growing, or wow, like whatever your goal is, you're not relying on other people and that external motivation and watching a video on YouTube of someone motivating you and looking up quotes and finding things on Instagram that motivate you. You don't rely on that, which is okay. You can use that, of course, but you have that internal inspiration, that little fire inside of you that no one can take away from you. And I love the quote by Michael Beckwith that says, the pain pushes until the vision pulls. The pain pushes until the vision pulls. I like that. I like that. And you know what the irony is too? That if your goal is to get healthier, for example, the healthier you get, the more you want to do this. So the less you need that external motivation to keep you going, because you've had a taste. You've had a taste of what your actions are getting you towards, of what your goal is gonna take you towards. You have a taste of that, and you have that internal inspiration that you've cultivated. So you rely less and less on external motivation. And to me, that's huge. Over time, that's huge. So what else did I write? Oh, that also to realize that the beginning is the hardest part. The beginning will be the toughest part. So being aware of that will prepare you for the journey. And also being aware of the fact that plateaus and setbacks are a part of the journey. Your journey is not going to be just simple, right? The journey will be up and down and back and forth and up and all over the place. But the trend will be going up. You're not gonna seem that way maybe sometimes because you're going all over the place, but the trend is progress if you stick with it, if you stay with it. So realizing that when you go through a plateau, a setback, having self-compassion and patience and applying those will be huge, will be the secret to get over that. Because remember, you're a human being, you're not a machine. You're a human being going through life. We all go through different journeys. Don't worry if yours looks a little more wavy than just a regular straight up line. So just remember that. I want to give you some tips before I get to something deeper, because a lot of people ask me about how to stick to a healthy diet and that kind of tip. So the tip number one that I want to give you, which is some of the best ones are very simple, but it's actually doing them that works, right? You can't think about a treadmill or an exercise machine or whatever, or a gym, or you can't just go to a gym and just look at the machines and get in shape. You need to actually take the action steps. So the first one is to always have healthy food in your house. Always have stocks of healthy food. I love the quote by Eric McAdams. He said, if you keep good food in your fridge, you will eat good food. So simple. If you keep good food in your fridge, you will eat good food. So simple. A lot of people take all the junk food away from the house, and that works extremely well for them. Simple, but you have to do it. You can't think about it. You won't get results here. You have to take action on these things. The second one is to have go-to recipes and simple, let me emphasize, simple recipes and ideas for when life gets busy. Something happens in your family, at work or whatever, and gets busy, you have a crazy day, have some simple ideas and snacks and prepare foods ahead of time and things like that. So preparation is huge. Number three, the one that I love, and I want to give it to you now, you can start a 100-day gong. If you're not familiar with that, I made another video, but I'll share it quickly. Basically, you pick what you want to commit to, an action, not a goal, but an action. Whether it's 20 daily minutes of exercise, 20 minutes of meditation, 20 minutes of Tai Chi, of Qigong, of yoga, of breathing, of some kind of movement, of stretching, whatever it is for you, and you start a 100-day gong. So the idea is that every single day you do the action that you committed to doing. If, let's say, on day 72, you don't do it, it starts all over again from zero. So I've done a bunch of them, and one thing that I think is the most beneficial is what I call the healthy pressure. You have a little bit of pressure, but to me, in my opinion, it's a healthy way of adding pressure to yourself. A healthy amount of pressure, because nothing crazy is gonna happen if you quote unquote fail, but a little bit of pressure to motivate you enough to keep doing it. So right now I'm on day 195, I think, of meditating every single day. And to me, it's amazing. I wasn't expecting to be able to go for so long, and I'm gonna keep going to see what I can do. But 195 days of consistent meditation. And it's been incredible for me. I think I'm on day 130 something of Qigong, daily Qigong. And I can't even express to you how helpful it's been for me to have that structure, that daily tracking. A lot of people say, well, what gets tracked gets done. Believe me, I used to hate structure, I used to hate planning, I used to hate tracking. But when some of my coaches introduced me to the power of tracking, that's when I realized, like, okay, there's a benefit here. Maybe I should try it. Maybe I should give it a go, give it a try, and see what happens. And it was incredible. So that's one that you can do. Really, really helpful and beneficial. And number four, one thing that I wrote is to start small. So if 10 minutes, is what you want to commit to, that's perfect. Because on days that you have more time and you feel inspired to do more, you will do more, but you'll never do less than 10 minutes. It's about the consistency. So start small, but also start with what inspires you the most. There's so much information nowadays all over the place that you're gonna get ideas and things that really inspire you, that you want to try, you want to do, you know will benefit you. Whether it's health, career, whatever it might be. Start with the one that inspires you the most, that just lights that fire in you, that you want to do it right now, that you're so inspired and pulled to do it, that you don't have to push, you're pulled towards that action, you're pulled towards that direction. So start with that and start small. I believe that the tougher you are on yourself, the more likely you are to give up. So I never committed to a daily hour of meditation. Of course I did an hour, and I did 2 hours for a couple weeks, but I have a minimum of, I believe it was 20 minutes, but I tend to do 30 minimum. But don't commit to, okay, I'm gonna meditate for 2 hours for the next 100 days, because the tougher you are on yourself, the more likely you are to give up. So start small, and the days that you feel inspired to do more, you will. And that will be even more of a win. But that's the other thing about consistency and the 100-day gong, is that it's a daily little win. Every day you build a momentum of a win, a win, a win, a win, a win. And I did it, I did it, I did it. I feel more accomplished, right? And you start to cultivate that in you, which is going to inspire you to keep going, instead of every day that you don't do something, you feel bad about yourself. And you start to kind of lose that. So that's huge. That is huge. So now let's talk about resistance, because resistance will show up along the way. You're a human being, like I said, you're not a machine, you're not a computer. When resistance shows up, ask powerful questions to experience powerful transformation. I believe in asking compassionate, empowering questions, and I'll give you some ideas. But first, I want to share another quote by Michael Beckwith, which to me, it's a very interesting way of looking at things and just inspires good things in your head. Behind every problem, there's a question trying to ask itself. Behind every question, there's an answer trying to reveal itself. Behind every answer, there's an action trying to take place. And behind every action, there's a new way of life trying to be born. I like that. I really like that. So we start with a problem, but we end up with a new way of being out of that perceived problem. So where resistance shows up, you can ask powerful questions, you can ask empowering questions. I like the question, what's trying to emerge out of me? Life is challenging me right now. What could be life trying to bring out of me? What could this situation help me to develop to a greater level? I've gone through things in life that I realized, like, wow, maybe life is trying to bring out the warrior in me. We all have the warrior archetype. Maybe life is trying to bring that out of me a little more. Maybe I have had too many dreams and ideas and things that I wanted to do, but I haven't been consistent enough. I haven't moved forward enough. Maybe that's what life is trying to help me cultivate more. More discipline, more consistency, more passion. What could be life trying to show you? And in a good way, in a compassionate way, not in a way to beat yourself up and be harder on yourself. But another question is, what qualities do I need more of to get to where I want to get to? I have this goal, I have this dream. What qualities do I need more of? What I'm experiencing resistance. What else could help me? More self-compassion. How do I talk to myself? Do I talk to myself the way I would talk to a friend who's in pain, who's going through the same thing? Do I treat myself the way that I would treat someone I love? So cultivate whatever answer comes up for you, cultivate that in your life. These are chances, opportunities for you to cultivate more of these. It's going to help you along your journey. I want to share another question that I came across that was very helpful for me. And don't take this in a negative way. Use this as a way to bring more awareness to your life, bring more awareness to your journey, and bring more awareness to how you can move forward. But the question is, when it comes to health and exercise, do I exercise because I love my body or because I hate it? Do I exercise because I love my body, or do I exercise because I hate my body? To me, if I'm honest, it was because I hated it. I hated being so skinny. I hated having bad posture. I hated so many things about my body that I was working out like crazy out of that place of dislike, of not accepting my body. When I first learned this, I was very hard on myself. So I don't want you to be hard on yourself. We all go through this. Every human being might go through a different kind of situation similar to this in any area of life, in any kind of way. But what I want you to do is just bring awareness to that, and it's an opportunity to cultivate more self-love, more self-compassion, more self-acceptance. And maybe shift from working out because I don't like my body to working out because I love my body. I want to do what's best for it. And I want to have that energy to live life to the fullest. And I want to support my body in every way that I can. My body does so much for me. Why not help it out a little bit too? That's a deeper topic, but I just want to introduce that to give you that idea, give you that perspective, and see how that could help you in your life. I hope this helped. I'm going to make another video on sabotage, self-sabotage, because I think it's such a fascinating topic. But I truly hope this helped. And I want to leave you with a quote that I think for everything that I shared is going to kind of bring it all back together in a beneficial way for you and I. At least I know this quote helped me to not be too hard on myself. And it's a quote by Deborah Day that says, lighten up on yourself. No one is perfect. Gently accept your humanness. Have a beautiful day.